So moving into DMD speedrunning is really hard. So I thought it'd be nice to make a less of a tutorial and more of like an amalgamation of tips and tricks to help normal runners transition into Dante Must Die. So this is not going to be a full playthrough. You see we're cutting a little bit here and there, but I do want to show where all the blue orb locations are, all the secret missions, and all the bonus items that aren't necessarily required as well, but are nice just to know about. This is the first real difference with the Dante Must Die run. We're actually going to kill this puppet. You can high time him and just shoot him, or if you want to get a little more orbs, you can actually use Million Stab for once in your life. High time him, move behind him, that's important, and Million Stab him. And you'll get about 20 more orbs that way. And orbs are important because we want a lot of them. We need 400 to special bonus this mission. So here we're going to run to the opposite side that we would on normal. We're trying to get like a good line on these puppets so that we can get all the blues and ideally these two reds. You see I took a slash there, that's unfortunate. That does cost us SP as well. Now, the general rule of thumb is always try to get SB, but don't expect to. It's very hard, and this is a beginner run. I'm not going to expect you to get any of the early game special bonuses, but you should know how to go for them and try to get them. Now here, we're just trying very hard, and we actually got... Oh no, we didn't get that this run. But as you can see, puppets, they double trigger once that timer wears off. When they double trigger, they get all their health back. You cannot stagger them. They are a nightmare. Coming upstairs, we are trying to get a very specific angle here. So you want to get a triple juggle on the puppets there. See, that's a little unfortunate. That one fell down, but big whoop. Here, I'm going to have a little demographic. Very, very well made. But do not go head on. Go in at an angle so that you can push them back. Because the second one will, if you go head on, the second one will block you from going further back and getting third. So hit the angle. Just to show it again, we're going to get this angle. 1, 2, 3, 4 high time. And there, it's a little unfortunate that one in the back dropped and that guy went for the scream. But after you get a couple slashes, you can retreat to the corner and just shoot. And getting a couple slashes is really important because you'll get a lot more orbs from it when you do kill them. And also you saw that I high-timed that puppet. That's also really important because puppets can't DT when they're high-timed. And here, kill the fetish. Now, if this room goes really, really wrong, like here, we have our DT'd fetish. This is a nightmare scenario. You can, in fact, simply leave, reset the room, and come back. This is honestly faster than killing the DT'd fetish. Just kill this one red that comes up close and just camp in the corner and shoot the others. You can just completely reset the room. It's slow, but you'll finish the mission, I promise. It was, in fact, this strat that got us to enable turbo in DMD runs, so. And here, we can just farm the fetish, get some orbs. We already lost SB, but I don't know, it's just a habit for me. You want to end with 355. Now for mission 2, we actually want a lot of orbs again, so that we can special bonus. So we're going to hope that we get a shadow here, and we're going to critically kill it. I assume you know how to do that. Just bait out a skewered, shoot it. Collect the orbs. Come in here. I also got Alistair off screen. I assume you know how to do that. Get the shotgun, get your key, and on your way back, if you don't have to kill the shadow on the way back, make sure to taunt, because you want DT going into this room in case you get blades. Here we got scythes. Scythes are free. They're widely considered the best option. Just blast them with the Gat, collect their orbs, and then head on out. Now, if you do get blades, blades are not free. They're not the end of the world, but they're not free either. So you want to come up here by the lion door and just kind of blast them until they all come up. They all came up pretty quick here. Sometimes it'll take longer, but just keep them stun locked with the shotgun until they do come up. And then just kind of hit them with 1, 2, 3, 4 high time helm breaks. And there's about a 60% chance that you'll get through without damage. Wait for their orbs, and then just leave. Now here at the Mission 3 buy menu, you're going to want to buy Stinger 1 and 2 and a purple orb. You could buy Air Hike instead of Stinger 1 and 2 if you got a single SB. Or if you SB both, you could buy Air Hike as well, just in general. Here, and as like normal with all collectibles, you don't want to get that orb cache yet. We'll get it after the Phantom fight. And then here, I kind of messed up here. You should Devil Trigger while you're down here underwater until you get to the Skull fight. Devil Triggering there prevents the damage over time affecting your rank. And it is actually possible to special bonus this if we're fast enough. Now, this Phantom fight is ass without Air Hike. It's actually very hard. You will do a lot of just chasing him back and forth in this spot. I do not recommend trying to get fancy and going for fireball deflects or anything. Just go for a lot of wall hike crits. I find that works kind of best. Remember, you can always Stinger. If you chose to buy Air Hike and you don't have Stinger, because generally if you buy Air Hike on a purple, you won't even be able to afford Stinger 1. In that case, use High Time to stagger him. It will always work. The timing is a little harder. You can't close the gap. But eventually he'll go down. Now, if you had an exceptionally clean fight, you can special bonus this mission, which would be very nice. But the time limit is 3 minutes, which is very tight. And in any percent, you can't even special bonus this mission. You have to settle for the S rank. Here, we go up here, you get that orb. Over here, you can just Stinger, jump your way across, it's easy and free. We get this blue orb, and now we're going to do Secret Mission 1. So this mission does give a lot of people, a lot of new AC runners, a bit of grief. It's really not that hard, though. Here, we're going to try to jump just to aggro him, get him to come down a little faster. So you need to hit his scissor. And that should open him up, get him deflected, and then you can just run to the side and shoot him. And I'm going to show a couple other things here. Keep in mind, the water doesn't actually kill you here. But it's like you can parry his attack. When he's circling around, you can slash at his scissor then. And you'll see that in some of these, he does this quick recovery animation. That is, as far as we can tell, just random. So that's basically the worst thing that he can do here. Now, this vertical swipe, you can parry that before the attack, but I find the timing to be really fickle, so I prefer to wait for him to do the attack, and then I parry it afterwards. But it's really not that bad with a little practice. Now here, this is a little strange. I generally would not recommend fighting Phantom in this hallway. He's way more dangerous here than he is in Mission 7. There's just something about him. Well, the chase itself is definitely a lot more dangerous, but then there's something weird about him on this part too, that I just feel like I don't get the deflexes consistently. But I'm doing this specifically because I have one special bonus, and right now I have 3,600 orbs, so if I kill him, I can afford Air Hike before Secret Mission 4. So I kind of feel like this is worth it right now because Secret Mission 4 is such a choke point, and having Air Hike will vastly boost your survivability. So now that he's dead, we're going to go do Secret Mission 1. Really, I should have done Secret Mission 1 first. I don't know why I didn't, but Here we go. You take one step forward, you slash, cancel out of the slash by jumping, and then you shoot. And you can get 40 to 60 in that first cluster. Now the spiders kind of initially spawn in 4 clusters in each corner of the room. So the first 2 clusters are pretty consistent. By the time you reach the back 2 clusters, they're pretty spread out. Do not double trigger while shooting, because that changes the way that your bullets work. Now I'm going to do a save quit here just so I can buy air hike right away, now that I have the money for it, because air hike also really helps with this death scissor fight. Now generally you can get a free hit on him here. Home breaking him from behind will pretty much always proc this attack. He is completely invulnerable. Just use the audio cues to side roll. And now one more good one to his back should kill him here. He does take, I think, 50% more damage when you hit him from behind. Now I'm going to jump up there really quick, because weirdly that causes him to die faster, and you get all your DT back. Now for Phantom Babies 2, you want to come in here with your full double trigger, kind of like Phantom Babies 1. The spiders spawn all clustered up together, so like getting the really early kills while they're all together is the secret to going fast. Here you want to taunt, because you really want full double trigger going into special secret mission 4. So here you're going to see me go ahead and save. That's because you can only attempt secret mission 4 once per save file. So if you wait until after you've activated the secret mission and then you're like, oh, this isn't going well, I should save and restart, it's already too late. You've already blown your chance. It won't activate then. So you have to save before coming down. So here you want to DT run, and this shadow will about 80% of the time do a skewer, and then run to the back, and then about 80% of the time that shadow will do a skewer. And it's very hard to actually get the crit on that one, because the first one by then might interrupt like they did now. I did actually fail to jump onto the skewer. But now we're fighting 2 shadows, and this is kind of just a game of patience. There really isn't any guaranteed strat here. I'm sorry to say, there's no cheese strats. There's no, oh, let's just do this, get out of jail free. You have to actually just fight 3 DMD shadows and hope that they kind of let you fight 1v1s while the others just stand there menacingly. This is a nice trick. Now, I'm sure you know you can't critically kill double-triggered shadows, but you can jump on their skewer and then step off, and then if you DT shoot them, they will always reveal their core. Now, when you're being chased by a DT'd shadow, you want to jump out at 90-degree angles in order to avoid those lasers whenever it closes in. So now, with just a little bit of luck, you've hopefully survived the mission. We can get out of here and move on to the boss fights. Jumping straight into the Nelo fight. Here the strat is to hit him with 16 slash cancels. Here I'm going to do 4 sets of 4. You can also do 8 sets of 2 if you prefer that. Jump away and then run back in as quick as you can and hit him with 7 more slashes. After that, if you're quick, you can get up here before he warps himself. And we're kind of just going to do it again. 16 undt'd slashes, then jump away, which will always provoke a meteor, and then run in and do 16 DT'd slashes. Then he will warp, and we're going to go do it again. Now, right up here, this is actually a little bit of a sketchy part, so you never know what he's going to open with up here. A meteor is always really free to go in on him, though, so if he does that, you're good. If he does anything else, you can kind of just run away and wait for him to meteor. But once you get him in the loop, it is GG, it's over. Bye, Nelo. Now here, we're going to make a save, and this is actually really important, because from here on out, we're going to be using a glitch to modify our rank. So here, it's a little unfortunate we have to watch this cutscene, but as soon as this is over, we're going to reset to the main menu, and we're going to reload. Now this is called the leniency glitch, and it's going to boost our rank from here on out. It's going to make our orb route a lot safer. it's as beginner as you can get. I highly recommend it while you're learning DMD. Now here, I'm going to show this again, so don't worry too much. We're going to despawn that shadow by standing in a precise spot and jumping. Now, so right off the bat, we're going to activate DT and run to the left just to do a little placement manipulation. Then you want to use the timer at the top left to time this jump. Around 255.3 is when I like to try to jump. The first one goes off the screen there, and then the second one, most of the time, will do a skewer. If it doesn't, just wait for one. If you have to, eventually you can just blast it and kill it normally. Honestly, because of the glitch we did, the leniency glitch, we can actually take some damage here and still special bonus. Make sure after they're dead to come up here and get the untouchable and this blue orb fragment. Now, if you are a very broke boy and don't have air hike, and you don't have DT right now to use air raid or anything, you're gonna have to do this awkward ass wall hike strat that I want to show you just so you can see that it's doable. It's very finicky, it's very precise. There we go. See, then you can get up there and just come down and we can finish the mission. Dante, finish the mission, Jesus. Make sure not to helm break when you're in this room. You could bonk off that death scythe and he could hit you. Now, if you've done the leniency glitch, you could take damage and lose SB, but it's still just, it's not worth it. Now here, we're going to do another save. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to quit out. Make sure not to buy anything here. So we're going to do our quit out. Then we're going to load in, and now we can buy our stuff. You never want to buy a purple orb before a quit out. Here, make sure you have to pick up this blue orb fragment. Now coming up, we're going to fight 3 plasmas in the next room. The strat to not getting hit here, again, it's not 100%, but we're going to do a double jumped air hike, a helm break on that one, and then jump back to where we started and do a double jump to helm break on that guy. That should leave both of them at a 1-tap range. Now this last guy, you just want to spam Ebony and Ivory at him. He normally gets stun locked by it. He did get a laser beam off there, which is a little abnormal. But luckily we were just strafing and he did that one and not the arc attack. But normally he will be stun locked, and it's pretty reliable to not take damage here. Now, you could vortex this hallway if you really want to. I prefer to save my devil trigger for the upcoming fight, because not having DT against the Death Scissors sucks balls. Now here at the start of the fight, you're just going to try to hit him with double jumped helm breakers while you're in double trigger. There is a strat to get a very quick kill and skip this whole corkscrew animation, but I kind of don't recommend it when you're a beginner. It's more of an intermediate thing. For now, helm break, DT'd helm breaks should suit you just fine. He's really not that hard. He goes down, and you can do the same jump tech as the one on mission 4, where you can get him to die faster by jumping here. Get your full DT refill before ending the mission, and special bonus. Now see, the little leniency thing we're doing, we special bonus that one even though we took damage, which shouldn't be possible. And one more time, we're going to perform our leniency glitch here. Now, this phantom fight, we do actually have to kill this phantom for its orbs. Even with the leniency glitch we're doing, it's not enough points for us to special bonus mission 7 without killing phantom. So we're going to hang back here and reflect his fireballs. I recommend full launch high times. You have to slash a little bit earlier this way, but it's a lot safer because if you mistime it, you kind of launch yourself up. Now for these frosts here, we're going to do a very specific combo. You're going to DT Stinger, 1, 2, 3, 4, high time helm break, 8 sets of slash cancels, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, high time helm break. This would kill if Dante hadn't swapped targets there. Once the first one is down, you can just high time the second one, and while it's knocked down, un-DT, taunt twice, get your DT back, and you should be able to just slash cancel it to death. Unfortunately, we gotta heal here. I really recommend this setup. Learning that Stinger, 1, 2, 3, 4, high time helm break, that whole combo, it will drastically boost your consistency here. And this fight is a major choke point for a lot of people learning this run. Now in this room, make sure you take out these gats. Normally a double jumped home break will take out that one, then I like to stinger this one. You have to jump his shotgun if he tries to fire while you kill the first one. But it's just nice to get some DT here. And be a little mindful of these puppets. Try to jump a little to the side, unlike in normal when there's nothing there. You have to kind of jump around the puppets. And there we got our special bonus. See, we were able to get 3 special bonuses by utilizing that save quit glitch. Now, here we're going to backtrack to Secret Mission 5. This sucks. This secret mission sucks. I am kind of sorry, but this is another point where there's just not really a cheese strat. I can just give you some general tips. I like to just stay in this corner, or at least this far wall with all those grates. And honestly, all you can do is hope that they cooperate, hope that they shoot, and when they do shoot, that the other one isn't in the air or something. I'm devil triggered right now. It doesn't really do anything for me. There's no healing on this. Normally it would reduce your damage, but I'm at 1 HP anyway, so... Oh well. Now, you can Vital Star here, and honestly, I should have. I just was not thinking about it. But you can Vital Star. You have your 1 Vital Star. This is probably one of the most likely places to use it. But definitely try to stay over here where the camera is a little more consistent. If you wander out more into the middle of the room, you start getting these really awkward camera transitions. So even if the spiders try to go to the middle of the room, just stay over here and make them come back to you. And try not to spam jump too much. So you want to be on the ground unless you have a specific reason to jump. That way you can evade whenever you need to. Here, once you do win, you can save and quit. This is basically a save warp to bring you to the start of the mission. Now here, mission 8, make sure you get those 2 orbs. We're going to try to special bonus mission 8. And here I'm going to show you the window kill. He always starts with a jump, so just stand in the middle, let him fall. Utilize your jump iframes to jump through him. When he turns like that, try to stay to his back. He will, like, 50% of the time do a jump, or he'll do a quick spin and do one of his fire attacks, like this one. You can just evade this by just running. Pretty easy. Now, it is really important, if we're going for the special bonus on this mission, to no damage it. So just be a little safe. You need to get him to land on the center 5 times. He's being pretty cooperative here. But you can always tell he's about to jump when he just kind of rears up in place. Whereas if he's going to do an attack, he generally will do this quick turn and face himself towards Dante. And here we're going to get the blue orb. We're going to get to this orb cache, because we need to get enough orbs to special bonus. It's not enough to just beat Phantom. And then we're going to get this orb cache. Make sure you pick up this blue orb after using the tridents. And make sure to pick up this blue orb after going through the portcullis. Now, using this route, we should be able to pretty consistently get these 4 special bonuses. And this should be really all we need, so we shouldn't have to worry about orbs too much. Now, coming down here, we have the blade fight, which is actually mandatory on this difficulty. I recommend going for crits, so shoot them in their back, and then when they fall on their tummy, you helm break them in the back. And then when there's one left, a good trick is to stinger it and stagger it, and then you can normally run behind it and shoot it then. It's a little tricky to get that off when there's multiple, because they'll come up and swipe you. But then come up and get that blue orb fragment hidden under the tombstone. And I almost forgot, but just to show it off, if you need it at this point, there is an extra yellow orb over here. And then in here, make sure you pick up this Devil Star. And again, if you want the safety, there is also a yellow orb on the other side. Like in the symmetrical bit to the Devil Star. Then grab a Freet like normal, and on your way out, only shoot Griffon once. In normal any percent, you can get away with shooting him twice. We really only want to shoot him once here, otherwise the timing gets a little different. Now, I wanted to show that really quick. There's a green orb in here if you need it for Forest Fight. You probably shouldn't, but it's there if you need it. And now this is a lot like normal difficulty Forest Fight. You're going to get more reds is all. So just work in more DT flashes. Make sure to pick up this holy water, by the way. But otherwise it's the same, so we don't really need to show it. Now up here, there is another Devil Star as well, if you want that. That's an extra one, but it's there if you want it for a little bit of extra safety. There are some things you can do with some safety Devil Stars later. So if you want to take like 4 seconds to grab it, go ahead. And also you saw me pick up that yellow orb there, so there's one there as well. So there's 3 on this mission that you can pick up. It's quite a bit. Go through the 1,000-year door. In this room, very reminiscent of 2021 any percent strats. We're just going to stinger this fetish through the door. You can vortex up to this. Now make sure the light actually leaves him there. Now there's 2 RNGs that you can get from the blades, the swipe and the jump. Here he does the jump, so we DT run forward, grenade, and then vortex into those back 2 blades. Here we got extra lucky because the first one jumped in on the party. When they give you the swipe, then you have to jump forward and you do the same thing. You grenade those 2, you vortex them, and then if the third one doesn't join in, you gotta go back and vortex him as well. Now though it went really fast, I'm gonna show it again. He gives the jump, so you run forward, grenade, vortex. And when he does the swipe, you jump. So there's always someone jumping involved. And I do recommend always going for this strat, because if you fail it, you just end up grenade rolling the blades, which is the backup strat anyway. So there's no reason not to at least try doing this, and you'll get more consistent in time. Now what I like to do for the shadows here is hope the first one gives you a skewer. We're going to get the skewer, we're going to critical hit it, and we're going to run up this right-hand path. You can go to the left, it doesn't really matter. I prefer the camera on the right. I feel like I can just, control things a little better with this camera. But we're going to have him do a lunge, hopefully have him do a lunge, and then we can just go right through. Now again, the bad RNG he can give you is where he jumps and doesn't skewer. If he does this, just try to lead him towards the back entrance, away from the other shadow, and hope to get a second skewer before the other one closes in. And then you can do the same thing, just lead him to that back archway. If you don't get that skewer, you're just going to have to fight them mano-y-mano. I wish you the best of luck. Now for the Cyclops, I recommend dropping a Holy Water. Not an Untouchable, a Holy Water. And this will not kill them on Dante Must Die, but it will weaken them a lot, and then you can take them out with a couple of air raids. I did kill both of them there. There was just an editing cut, so it kind of looks a little weird. Pick up this Holy Water. Now for this buy menu, you want to prioritize Inferno and Kick 13 level 1. If you can afford it, get Kick 13 level 2 and Meteor level 1 and 2, and start the mission. Secret Mission 6, really easy, just jump up, do a triple jump, grab the orbs. I'm not going to patronize you too much. Come up here, get that orb cache. You'll need that for the special bonus. Now as soon as you land here, you can pop Holy Water to kill all the blades. It is a little finicky. If you pop the Holy Water at the wrong time, a lot of the blades can iframe as they jump up. But if you just pop the holy water right as you land, it's completely free. And now we're going to collect their orbs as well. And since we killed them all, you get this blue orb. Get this blue orb. And if you really want it, just to show you that it's here, I don't really recommend getting this one. It's a little out of the way. There is a Devil Star up top here. So now that that's all done, we can go to Nelo. Now, this is a fight where you are actually going to have to do some learning and practice. I recommend doing this combo. I actually find this to be easier than slash canceling, because I always mess up the slash cancels eventually, but this is a lot less intensive. Here, Inferno. Kick 13, cancel your DT once you start the DT barrage, or the Kick 13 barrage. Then Grenade, full powered punch, Grenade, full powered punch, and jump away. That is the 7-step Efreet loop. And it is completely DT self-sustaining. You'll never run out of DT doing this. Inferno, Kick 13 cancel. Grenade, punch, grenade, punch. Yes, I'm going to show the whole fight again. Open with the Inferno, Kick 13 cancel, grenade punch, grenade punch. Now pay attention to where I'm trying to lead him. There's a reason I'm running around to his side before doing the punch. You want to lead him into this corner. If you lead him to, like most other corners in the arena, he will for some reason warp away and break this loop. But if you lead him here, it will always work. Another common issue people will get is instead of this meteor that he's doing every time for me, he'll do a sword combo instead. If he does that, it means you jumped away too slowly. So just jump away quicker next time. So again, Inferno, Kick 13 cancel, grenade punch, jump away, and then shoot that grenade before jumping back in. It takes some practice, but you'll get it, I promise. Mission 12, make sure to grab this untouchable. In the next room, you'll have to fight some frosts. So a lot like the Nelo strategy, Inferno, Kick 13 cancel. And then if that doesn't kill them, they should be one-tapped, so just do a grenade or just an un-DT'd Kick 13. Nice and easy. But you do want to go into this next fight with DT. It's definitely a lot better. Make sure you grab that Devil Star too. Now here I try to use him raising his scythe as my visual cue of when to do the attack. You want to do a double jump helm break, which will provoke him into always countering with another attack. He will either do a quick swoop up to you and slash, or he'll do this really delayed thing. The delayed one is a lot harder to time. You'll see I missed it there. But if you miss it, resort to air raid. Now, the Griffon strat, this is actually baby easy. All you need for this is air raid. Air hike helps to come up here. And this isn't just baby easy, this is actually reasonably fast. So you dodge the boomerang, hit him with 2 air raids, and then you just kind of wait here. And then if you jump up, Ebony and Ivory mash him, you can 2-cycle him like this. I find this to be way safer, way more consistent than our previous method of getting him to land here. Try not to land on him, by the way, when you do that helm break. You do take chip damage from him when you land directly on him, so kind of go a little to the side. And it's also important, it's really important, that you don't get too greedy in that first cycle. Go down as soon as his attack ends, otherwise he won't land. But it should be like a pretty easy 2-cycle, if not 3-cycle. Now here, this is one of the easiest blue orbs in the game to miss, to forget about in the moment. Make sure you come up this way and collect the blue orb from the prow. This is also a bit of a peculiar one. If you don't stinger directly off the front of that crow's nest, you sometimes don't get it to spawn here, even if you land right there. It's very annoying. But if you know damage, it's a special bonus. You don't need the special bonus, it's just nice. And it doesn't really cost you time either. Now, mission 13, it starts off like normal. We're gonna kill these 2 blades. Once they're dead, though, we're gonna collect their orbs and then double back. There's a blue orb in this room. We're also going to get some orb caches. So if you shoot this barrel, and then shoot this one, and now we have to kill 1 blade. And also pay attention to the path I took. That's a very precise path. You will never get hit if you do that right. If you just take that same line every time, you'll never get hit. And now we should be able to special bonus, which is a nice, easy special bonus. It's one of the easiest in the game, and it only costs about 20 seconds. Here, make sure to go back for Secret Mission 7. This is a really annoying secret mission. If you progress the game by a single screen, this secret mission disappears, so don't forget about it. It's also a little bit annoying. You can't hit these blades while they're shooting at you, which can really slow down the mission. Still, just keep shooting. Sometimes if one starts shooting, you can pivot off to another one, but frankly, you normally will spend more time looking for a new target than you would just from staying on that target and waiting for him to finish shooting. So it's very adaptive. Just get through it. There's not much to say. I probably didn't have to show the whole thing. But when it does end, make sure you do a save quit to save warps back to the beginning. You can save yourself just a little bit of time. After you load back in, make sure to grab this blue orb. Grab the blue orb. And then over here, grab this holy water. And we're going to buy a purple orb. At least I am here, so I'm not going to bother building DT. Now here, you want to buy a purple orb. I buy 3 blues because I'm really pilled on any percent. Don't bother buying those blues, it's not really worth it. But you can just vortex right away. And then when this runs out, we're going to use one of those devil stars we picked up. If I can menu to it. And now here, as long as you have nice, clean vortex lines, you should always get these 3 grouped up right here, and you can get a nice refill there. And it's really important to have DT, because up ahead there's going to be a death scythe. Now, normally, I would not recommend getting these next 2 items I'm going to show, but I did want to show where they are, so I just wanted to show all the optional items. So there's a yellow orb here, and there's a holy water here in this waterfall. So again, I would just normally do the normal any percent movement here and just leave immediately. Now for this room, there is a death scythe. And what you want to do right as you go in is you want to do a double jump down to the left and do a helm break. You will always get him with the helm break. And it's important that you're DT'd, because that will provoke him into just doing more slashes. And you can hopefully get a nice quick kill if you land all 3. After that, just end the mission. And then going into mission 15, we actually have quite a lot to do. First, we're going to grab this holy water. Then we're going to backtrack. There is this purple orb. No, devil star. I'm sorry. Not a purple orb. Here, I like to grab this blue orb fragment and this blue orb fragment. I like doing these now, just because I kind of like the movement better when doing it this way. You could have grabbed these in mission 14. It's completely fine. Now here, secret mission 8, we're going to use 2 of these holy waters we picked up. Now at this point, because we picked up one that I would kind of consider extra, this would normally drain our reserves. But once they're all dead, you can pick up your blue orb fragment, and then we're going to save warp back once again. And now we can start mission 15 proper. So here you can open this door without aggroing the fetish, which is nice because then Dante's targeting and lock-on don't get all messed up. And there's no reason not to, so grab this 1k cash, get the blue orb, and then build some DT on our way out. We're going to go over to the red door from here. And once you're down here, if you want it, again, there is a yellow orb that you can pick up here in the opposite room of where we picked up the holy water and got the 1k cash. Now in this room, we're going to want to just vortex these wheels. It's by far the fastest way. And when you drop down here, the way to get this orb to spawn, you want to jump under this platform. I'm going to show it really quickly again. That's about the spot where you want to jump. Think of it as trying to jump directly under the spot where it would spawn. So a lot of people have trouble getting that to spawn when they first start all collectibles. Now we're going to build double trigger and come up here, and we're going to do Griffon 3. It's really important to not have your double trigger active when you go into this fight, when you go through this door. Because there is a bug in this game where if you die, if you have your double trigger active when you go into a room and then you die, after you use a yellow orb, you just won't have any DT at all. So if you have your DT activated there and then you die to Griffon 3, you're going to not have DT at the start of your next attempt, which is fucked. Now up here, this is a desperation yellow orb. I don't expect anyone to ever actually go for it, but it's there. At the start of the Griffon fight, you want to do a fully charged meteor followed up by another fully charged meteor. This should proc him to rise up into the air, and then you can kind of do the normal 90% strat. Now for the rest of this, instead of showing a full fight, I'm going to try to show all of his attacks. This is the beak attack. This is one of the best attacks he can do because you can get this nice juicy double hit with the meteor. I'm going to show it again. Watch his foot here. When it lands there, that's the timing you want to start charging meteor to get the double hit. Now this attack, this is his lightning pillars. You can just dodge roll with grenades, try to work in flashes whenever you can to keep your DT up. And at the end, you can finish with a meteor. Now this attack is his V attack, I guess we'll call it. But you can dodge this just by jumping right before they close in, and then the next one spawns overhead, finish with a meteor. Now the next one, this is more insidious. He does a V at the beginning, and then he does this bar, like lightning wave thing, followed by a ball. This is pure stall, just don't even try to attack on that one. And then the worst thing he can do, actually, he will run point blank like he's doing a beak attack, but it's a fake out, and then he'll randomly do any of his 3 lightning attacks. Without question, that is the most toxic thing he can do, and why you will die 90% of the time in this fight. Now for this attack, this guy goes dark. He does 3 of these waves, just roll at the last second, and then after the 3rd one, you can start charging a meteor. And that's all of his attacks. But additionally, if you ever get a knockdown on him, you can stand in front of him. And then after he bobbles his head the 2nd time, you can get a nice juicy double hits. I chose to show this off like this because it's such an RNG fight. You just kind of need to know his attacks and how to react. There's no such thing as just learning a pattern. Now here, we are in mission 16 now. We grabbed that blue orb at the beginning. And here, this mission is normally not that bad. If you let it get like this, it could be a little bad. But ideally, you want to get up most of the way using only enemy steps, and then save your air hike for that last bit. And now here, this is completely optional. Once again, I don't recommend actually getting this, but just so you know that it's here, there is an untouchable you can get if you return to the Ifrit location once it becomes night. So after you grab this, or you probably don't grab this, you can kind of just any percent your way up here. Except after the plasma dies here, make sure you grab that blue orb. There's another blue orb fragment in this room. We'll get it later. Come in here, get this blue orb. There's 3 enemy spawns you can get in this room. You can get this shadow halfway down the hallway. You can get fetishes at the beginning and fetishes in the middle of the hallway. So if you get a shadow, you can just very simply skewer kill it. We're in danger of it DTing here. You normally get about 3 attacks out of a shadow before it will DT. So if he doesn't DT here, we're gonna blast it. And now we're just gonna blast it. 2 stingers to the core. And after this, I will show a fetish pattern, which the fetishes are generally faster, but a little bit harder. So what you want to do when you get a fetish pattern is you need to kill them all before the next wave spawns. Basically, you need to have no enemies alive in the room at a time. And the next wave doesn't spawn until you kill the last 2, until you're down to like 1 fetish. So if you just quickly kill the last 2 fetishes, that clears the door, and then you can move on. Now, we're going to spend a lot of time talking about Nightmare, because Nightmare is not something you can glaze over. You really need to understand him in Dante Must Die. So here, we're going to watch this, and note that every time the core comes out, it shines and like shoots all these lasers out. Those will do a lot of damage to you. So if you're really trying to be safe, you need to wait before you actually engage with the core. Now, as for Nightmare's cycles, it kind of depends. His first cycle, he will always start off with an ice beam if you're towards his front half, or if you're towards his back half, he will open his back core and do these homing laser things. Then for his second cycle, he will turn sideways and do this triple spike attack. And then he just repeats. It's like ice beam, triple spike, ice beam, triple spike. Generally in this first fight, we are not going to try to get the homing lasers. Here I have this absolutely beautiful image showing you exactly what he does, when he'll do it. You have no excuse to ever mess up Nightmare again. So now that we know a little bit about Nightmare, about like his little aura of lasers whenever the core comes out, about his cycles, we can go into the fight. Also, it's worth noting, if you do ever get swallowed and come out, he reverts to his first cycle, regardless of where else you are. So this will be an ice beam here. So now I'm going to show the full fights, and this is going to be a 4-cycle fight. You can do a 3-cycle fight, but for beginner strats, we're going to keep it to 4 cycles. Fairly slower. Now here, this is just going to be normal any percent for this first cycle. Do not use the needle gun. We're going to use the grenade gun. But just very simply, I'm assuming that you can do this strat in normal any percent. If you aren't good enough to do this strat in normal any percent, you're probably overreaching by trying to learn DMD right now. But here, you can just vortex this wheel. His next cycle is going to be triple spikes, so we're going to go to Ifrit. And Rolling Blaze is fantastic for deflecting those spikes. When you deflect one of those side spikes, you get this nice long opening. You can get 5 punches in there on his back core before he retracts it. It is really important with Ifrit to re-grab the melee button after you launch your punch, because if you don't re-grab fast enough, you're probably only going to get 4 punches. The timing is pretty tight to get 5 fully charged punches. For this third phase, we're going to just go back to high time helm breaks, and you can see he has just a sliver left. We're going to use Ifrit to break his back core now. It'll be triple spikes again. Nice, easy, very, very easy. A 4-cycle. now we go back to our handguns and wait for your DT to refill, probably. I forgot to do that, but if you just wait there, you can get your DT. At the start of this mission, just jump and shoot twice. That should aggro just one of the shadows, and he will almost always skewer when he comes down. Then just dance around with him a little bit, and then once you feel like his timer is about to expire, you can jump up and aggro the other, then fight him, and once he dies, you can move on. I assume you know where the other one is, so I'm just going to skate over the other two shadows. Make sure you grab this blue orb, though, at some point while that one's dying, and then grab the blue orb from the other shadow, and then just finish the mission. Now here, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Oh, don't mind me. Here, Stinger jump the bridge. Crucial information. And I'm going to use a Devil Star here because we've picked up a couple of extra. What you can also do is just wait a second for the Scythe to come up and taunt him instead. But just climb that, and then you can get to the blue orb. And if you helm break right there, like right where the blue orb was, you should just land on this platform. And you can do a save, quit, and get back. This is a little bit faster than flying. And also we're going to buy a purple now. And if you don't have it, this is where you really want to kick 13 level 2. I forgot to swap here. Now the strat for these frosts, you jump here, you get a double hit with the meteor, and you do an Inferno cancel. So after you input your Inferno, but before you land, deactivate your Devil Trigger, and you will do a weaker version of Inferno, but it won't cost you any extra Devil Trigger. After that, 2 more will spawn. Stunlock the first with kick 13s and grenades, and then once the other one spawns, just Inferno, and then do a kick 13 cancel. Now in this room, you can get nobodies, in which case I would just swap to Ifrit and then Inferno the nobodies, because there would only be 2 of them. With fetishes, it's like that hallway in Mission 16. We're going to have 5 fetishes spawned, and we need to kill the last 2 basically at the same time. So that one there, we kind of stinger to the end, so it's grouped up with the other, and then we can just grenade roll them and clear the door. Now the dragon, it's the same as ever, but if you want to be a little bit swag, you can come up here between blasts. It is a little tight, but it's swag, so, you know. Now for Nelo 3, it's going to be the exact same combo, but we're going to do a little thing different at the beginning. We're going to run right at the top of the stairs, do an uncharged meteor to stagger him, and then you jump into your Inferno. And if you remember on Mission 11, I talked about how we had that specific corner where we tried to lead him. This is the corner where you tried to lead him on this level, because just like on Mission 11, if you tried to just back him into any old corner, he will most of the time just break out of the loop. He'll eventually warp. But if you get him into this corner, it's GG. He just has more health, so it's more of the same. So again, just really practice this loop. It will take you a very long way. Now, there is a faster loop, but I would consider that an intermediate strat, so that would be in the next tutorial. For the beginner strat, I wholeheartedly recommend just learning this. And again, you can slash cancel Nelo as well. That's probably the most, like, the least skill intensive. But once you have this down, this combo, I really feel like this is more consistent than slash canceling, because I'll pretty much always mess those up eventually. Now here, underwater, we want to grab that blue orb from the barrel, and then when you're swimming up here, you can get this blue orb to spawn just by bumping against that ledge there. And then you can just go up and get the egg. Before you drop down, there's one more blue orb fragment to get. And now we're going to jump into Nightmare 2, and he has a new attack. He's different from Nightmare 1. This is his boomerang attack. It sucks to deal with if you let it get out of hand. Luckily, he doesn't use it often, only every 5th cycle. So really just keep track of those cycles. It's really not that hard, though, and there's a pretty easy counter to it as well. We'll get into that once the fight starts. So we start the fight. And this time we're not going to use any Alistair on him this time. Instead, we're going to hit his top cycle and just fully charged punches. This is a beginner tutorial. We're not doing any of that timed punch stuff. So just keep it to fully charged punches. Now here, notice that I hit the wheel an extra time after it's fully lit. This is going to get us 2 cycles out of a single wheel charge. So he's not going to liquefy after this cycle. So here we do our grenade and 5 punches. That's all you can get after the triple spike attack. And then we're going to just stand here and let him do his homing laser attack. And here you can get in 6 punches. Technically, punch, punch, kick, kick, punch, punch. So after the 6th one, just taunt, get your DT back, and then we're gonna light the wheel. He's gonna give us a back core again, triple spikes. And we did break the core to green, that's pretty much inevitable. Now after this, he's going to give us the boomerang attack. And that's a little scary, but not actually that bad. So pay attention to which side he opens up whenever he does this attack, which side the boomerang is coming out on. See, it's coming out over there. And then if you just jump up right as it would start spinning, you can just auto-deflect it. And that's how you basically deal with every attack Nightmare has. So not going over too much in 19 because it's almost identical. Just make sure you get that blue orb, that untouchable, make sure you get Nightmare Beta. Up here, these are the last 2 blue orb fragments in the game. Get that one in the tower to spawn by doing this. I'm skill issuing. Honestly, I'm not sure this is even worth it. I'm trying to farm this jump. But you can get that blue orb fragment and then grab the ledge with an air hike back up. Now, if you no damage this fight, you can special bonus this mission. So if you would like some extra money to, say, buy a replacement Vital Star or something, it could definitely be worth it to special bonus this mission. But just an Inferno at the beginning, and then an Inferno in the second phase, and then grenade roll whatever is left over, basically. So here for mission 20, we're going to buy a purple orb. And I, again, bought a blue orb out of normal DMD, any percents have it. But at this point, you should have plenty of health, so it's fine. You don't need to buy that blue orb. But just do the normal movements. And here, try to time your jump up here, and you should be able to get 7 fully charged punches in before the cycle wears off. Now we're going to try to turn this into a 4-cycle phase 1. So Trish at the end of the 4th cycle. And the backcore is green right now, so I very strongly recommend not proccing the homing lasers. We only want to get Ice Beam and the side triple spikes. Because once the backcore turns green, the homing quality of those lasers becomes way stronger. They will target you and they will eviscerate your health. So here, just, we got a red core, it doesn't matter. Ah, he jumped on the ceiling, I forgot about that. If he jumps on the ceiling, more or less forget about trying to punch the circle. You can try to get it with Rolling Blaze like I did, or you can just wait until he comes down. And now this should be a free proc for Trish. DT on the wheel is nice because then it's only 2 punches instead of 3. And here, this is the 5th cycle. The cycle does not reset with the cutscene. Now, we are unfortunately not going to get the phase change because the core is, in fact, red. So in total, this is a 6 cycle fight, which, I gotta be honest, is a bit slow. It is only 2 more cycles than Crystalline Strat. So here, we actually use an untouchable. And ideally, you just jump and then Inferno. For some reason, it wasn't letting me jump there, but the core goes down really easy and pretty quickly to jump an Inferno. Now, we're going to want 3 untouchables for Mundus, so make sure you backtrack and grab this untouchable. In our inventory right now, we do have 1 extra because I went and showed you where to pick up that one on Mission 16, but generally you're not going to actually have that one. So here's our final secret mission. Make sure you grab this blue orb. Now earlier we took the right path. There's 3 forks here. You take that right, and then you take this left. So it's right, right, left on the 3 forks. And then in this final room, pay attention to that rock I was standing on when I jumped and activated air raid there, and you can just get a very free 0 RNG Cosmo climb to the top of this room. Now, if you have a Devil Star, now's a great time to use it. Otherwise, you're going to have to probably Inferno Rolling Blaze jump through the tendrils in the next room. Everything else is the same as normal any percent, so I'm just going to skip it, and we're on to Mundus. So at this point, make sure you've bought Round Trip, buy your last purple orb, and then tidy up anything else you can with what money you have. Try to buy a Vital Star if you don't already have one, and then the rest you can just spend on gold orbs or blue orbs or whatever. Now, Mundus Phase 1 is a handful. He is a big pain in the ass. He is basically a bullet hell. It is actually not easy to give tips on this, because it just boils down to get good at dodging his attacks. I'm very sorry to say that. Generally, wide circles or figure 8s are good for dodging his attacks. This laser here, you can normally vortex through that. Now, you want to try to shoot his glowing spot on his chest. He takes a lot more damage if you shoot him there. So what I've been told is to try to shoot around his shoulders, and you will hit it a lot more consistently. And I'm going to show another, at least a snippet of the fight after this. So when the fight starts, I guess I didn't show right at the beginning, but when the fight starts, always try to start with a dragon. Because his little floating orbs that make his shield, they have just iframes for some reason the first time he summons them. So it's just a little more time efficient to use a dragon off the start. Plus you build your DT back really fast. But as you can see, a figure 8 will dodge most everything. I find the big rocks that he summons to be a very obnoxious attack, because just the way they expand, they will hit you unexpectedly when you think you're out of range. And really, just the fact that he overlaps his attacks, that is by far the most deadly thing about him. Like, in this example, he's just using the little lasers. It's actually uncanny. He's only using this attack. They're really easy to dodge. And then I want to show off this. So this is what I meant when you can vortex iframe through that attack. And then this is another thing I want to show off. You can double hit with that dragon from that position while he's crossing his arms there. So that's a nice little trick. Okay, so now to Mundus 2. Now this is completely free because we have 3 untouchables. technically 4, but normally you would have 3 here. So I always try to get one meteor off first. And what you want to do is round trip, and then while round trip is doing its thing, charge a meteor, and then pre-release the meteor. Don't fully charge the meteor. And you'll see that it's actually round trip doing most of the damage here. And the worst thing that can happen here is if you get sniped between untouchable uses. So I'm going to go ahead and use this Vital Star here. And you see I'm just doing round trip into a partially charged meteor. Now, if you want to be completely safe, you can just 1-2 high time, just like normal 80%. This is just faster, and I think that even at a beginner level, this is worth going for, or worth learning. It should be free as long as you have untouchables. And I should have mentioned it, but it's probably worth making a save at the start of this mission, because if you were to use some of your untouchables and then die, and you'd probably be better off just reloading the save than trying to continue without untouchables. So Mundus goes down, and I wanted to show this room really quick. I'm just doing normal 80% stuff here because I have extra holy waters. But if you don't have these holy waters, you would just Inferno that instead. Against this Frost, which you do have to fight, just do the Inferno into Kick 13 cancel that I mentioned earlier. And here, we're going to try to get some DT before we go into this next room, because you need 10 runes of DT to one cycle Mundus 3. So we're going to get ourselves pretty well topped up. And we're going to have a shadow in this room instead of blades. So just crit him, easy peasy. You're a pro DMC DMD runner at this point. You can take on one shadow, right? And then Mundus is the same as ever, but he is a lot tankier. So you do generally want to have your full 10 DT going into this. Funny many memes. But yeah, just spam Vortex 1 over and over and over. That's the strat. The first 3 hits of Vortex do more damage. That's why it's more damaging to spam Vortex 1 over and over than to try to do Vortex 2 and just like hold it in a straight line against them. But quite literally, it's all just the same. You take your plane ride to victory at this point. And I didn't think I did, but I guess I show the whole footage for some reason. So yeah, that's the Dante Must Die all collectibles tutorial, more or less. I didn't actually want or expect this to be so long, but I also would love to have more people finish Dante Must Die runs. So yeah, Devil May Cry's a rockin', don't come a knockin', baby. Yeah. So good luck out there. Drop any questions in the comments. I will do what I can